BenQ Turek, which is super interesting if he defeats Ubil Marie. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that, guys. Oh my goodness. But that is a French player. So pretty exciting times here. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's get into the game. Spawning over here in the bottom left position, ladies and gentlemen, GLHB, good luck, have berries coming out from our purple Zerg player. We have Shibby. Also playing from the United Kingdom as the red Zerg in the top right corner. What's he going to be able to do in this mirror matchup representing Xbit? We have Revo. And looks like a little bit of a pause, please, coming out from Revo. Yep, so it looks like we're just going to have a bit of a break here while the players sort out their sound issue. Apparently, Shibby only has sound coming out of one ear at the moment. So we'll see what's going on. Thank you. I noticed the stream chat have noticed my shirt today. Yes, of course, this is from SC2 quote of the day. Pretty awesome stuff coming out from them. And pretty nice of them to have a t-shirt store up now as well. Don't want to plug them too much, of course, because this is all about ESET and it is their Masters Cup. But I'm sure Giovanni is watching the stream and he'll be dropping a quick, cheeky little link there into the stream chat. Some awesome quotes on t-shirts, and I thought, well, but at what cost is pretty perfect as far as a caster is concerned. So that was the one I chose. But all sorts of good stuff coming out from them as we do resume the game. So things looking going back to normal here, guys. And Shibby is currently on Frag Masters. Thank you very much. I had no idea what FM stands for. FM, as far as I'm concerned, stands for FIDE Master, because, of course, I am a chess player. FIDE, the international body that governs chess. So for me, that's what I know. And XBit, presumably, is related to XSplit, but in a somewhat more Zergy fashion. So let's see what he does there. Now, we have a little bit of a difference in Overlord scouting patterns, at least temporarily. We see Shibby with his second Overlord moving a little bit north before coming across the map. And as a result, that will be able to get into the main base using a little bit more direct route through this gap here. So it's not really going to make too much of a difference because this guy should also go across the chasm here as well. But to be perfectly honest, there's not too much more to talk about at this stage of the game other than the fact that Revo is gone for his hatchery. And we have a gas and a pool coming down simultaneously for Shibby. Now, both sides do have 15 workers as it currently stands. And we have got, wow, a hatch first into gas and then pool coming out of Revo. So Shibby is going to have significantly earlier Zerglings here. Let's see what he ends up doing with that. His spawning pool is actually almost complete now, and Revo is only just starting his. So Shibby has about a 50-second head start, and he's already mining that gas. So he could potentially do a decent amount of damage with speedlings with this particular build. Let's see if he does that. We have Shibby now scouting the fact that the hatchery first has indeed gone down for Revo. And he's put down his own hatchery as well behind this. But he's not actually building lings. So it looks like both players are just going to be chilling out. Now, he could have tried to go for a little bit of early aggression here against Revo, but opting not to do that in the end. And he's going to be moving out and grabbing his own hatchery. So what this means is he'll secure his base a little faster. He has the option of getting those lings a bit faster, and he's going for very quick speed. And, of course, that speed affects all 0 of the lings that are out on the map right now. So interesting stuff coming out of him. He just wants the option open in case he needs to build some lings very, very quickly. And in the meantime, he's just going to be droning up behind it. He's now finally getting 2 lings. Worker supply is 19 to 20 in favor of Revo at the moment, because don't forget, Revo did get that slightly earlier natural expansion. And things are looking fairly normal so far. Both sides willing to just drone up to high heaven and back. Queen's popping out, going to be injecting at the natural expansion. Now we have speed halfway complete for Revo as well. Going to be putting a Baneling Nest down at the front. In fact, both sides with their Baneling Nest at almost exactly the same time. And now we have a couple of lings moving out towards Revo's half of the map from Shibby. But we have 2 lings of his own popping out from Revo as well. So not very, very, very light on the on the count here of units early on in the game. Those two just going to be getting a bit of a scout off. They have so much faster Zergling speed. Going to pick off a drone as well. Excellent stuff coming out of there from Shibbxyz, just doing the harassment on Revo. Of course, only a single drone kill, but Shibbxyz is up to 31 workers now. Revo has also just popped up to 31, but he was at 24 before, so a massive round of drones coming in. And is this going to tempt him to maybe go for a couple more lings? No, we have two banelings coming in from either side. And, Shibbxyz going to be able to move in a little bit faster here. Dear oh dear, that Zergling got completely taken out by those drones. Not really the best thing. He could have used those lings maybe to morph them into banelings, and that would have been a bit of trouble. Neither side has a spine crawler down at the moment, although it looks like Shibbxyz is feeling the need to. No, that's actually an Evo chamber, pardon me, so that's not going to be a spine crawler at all. And we still have drones coming on from both sides. This really is a little bit of a game of drones, ZVZ. So, really, really interesting stuff. Neither side really committing to any sort of attack. Revo finally going for his spine crawler because he's decided that a layer is in order. He's going up to his second, third, and fourth gases simultaneously, so he could potentially transition into something like a Ling Bling Musa style composition, for instance. And Shibbxyz, in the meantime, looking like he's going to go for his third base. He has a drone there patrolling. Revo does have an overlord above that third, so if that third is taken, he'll know about it straight away, and indeed it is. Oh, wow. 1-1 for the Lings coming out of those Evo chambers, and he's going for his third base, building some Lings at the same time, of course. He wants to make sure he can defend against Revo in this early game. And Revo will respond by going for his own third base. So he's not going for some sort of massive two-base timing or anything like that. And oh, dear! That was possibly the world's greatest Baneling hit. And all of a sudden, all of those attacking options have just disappeared. Dear oh dear, Shibbxyz in the resources lost count. Okay, still only at 375, but twice the amount of his opponent, relatively. So, pretty good stuff coming out for it. And Revo has indeed started his Spire. Now, Shibbxyz got his third base first. So, his layer is only about halfway complete as it currently stands. And that means that the earlier mutas, if Shibbxyz decides to go mutas himself, of course, are going to be popping out from Revo's end. He's going to have a huge head start as far as that tech is concerned. Shibbxyz going to try and move towards the third base, see if he can get a cancel, but the DPS on those Lings means is so slow for them to kill it. And they do get duly surrounded and moved up, but that's because we have a second attack going into the main base here, and Shibbxyz gonna wreak havoc, picking apart a queen, and he's gonna be able to go into the mineral line right now. Those drones on gas getting taken apart first, and Revo is a little bit late to react here. Losing a decent number of drones, and the Spire does get spotted. It won't get picked up, but it does know that it's there. Number of workers killed at the moment for Shibbxyz, 6. Now, he did lose a lot of Lings as well, so it wasn't exactly like those were free kills or anything like that. 44 workers to 37 in favor of Shibbxyz, 7 ahead at the moment, and he immediately plants down his own infestation pit. Now, also, Revo has a couple of fewer drones here to mine those all-important minerals to get those mutalisks. So he's sitting on 1,000 gas right now, so he'll be able to pump out a fair few mutas with that. But will he actually be able to use the rest of them? I feel he's going to run out of minerals at this point. Another run by at the third base. Going to try and force this hatch, and it is actually going to get it. Revo a little bit late on the uptick there. Is bringing some Banelings as well, but it's not going to matter too much with the Broodlings too. I think he should be able to clean this up, and the third hatchery has gone down. That is a massive, massive blow to our red Zerg player, who's currently at 59 supply versus Shibbxyz's 68. So Shibbxyz looking like he's in a commanding position. Only 5 mutalisks popping up for Revo at this time. He's really larva stocked. He's continuously building drones. He's continuously building Lings to try and fend off these attacks from Shibbxyz. He hasn't been able to put all of his resources into those mutalisks, and that's going to frustrate him to no end. Now picking off the gas guys at the third as well, because, hey, you might as well be as thorough as possible. There is a drone that's randomly popped out here, and he is going to go down pretty darn quickly indeed. And it looks like, indeed, we have the mutas popping out. We'll be able to chase these Lings away, but the damage has been done. Shibbxyz on 71 supply now versus 62. He's getting pneumatized carapace and pathogen glands now for his units as well, so he will be able to get those infestors out very shortly. Indeed, we have got spore crawlers now out on the map. He could have recalled his overlords a little bit sooner, because he did see that Spire very, very early on, so maybe slightly sloppy there coming out of Shibbxyz. He isn't supply blocked just yet, though, and he's continuously building new overlords. It looks like he will be supply blocked for just a moment as more and more mutalisks come out onto the field. Now, this is actually a time where it's getting slightly scary, because 11 mutas out on the field. Now, do we have a transfuse? Yes, we do. Excellent micromanagement coming out of there from Shibbxyz. Able to save those queens, and no problemo whatsoever. And 12 Roach is going to be following this up from Revo. Now that's interesting. We have a Roach sort of Muta composition here, not typically what we see. Pneumatized Carapace has complete, so those Overlords are going to have speed. But we have got Infestors out on the field now as well. And oh my god, if he loses units like that, although he doesn't have a second Infestor to deal the rest of that damage, he's actually left the rest of those Mutas alone, which is the wrong decision because we didn't have a second Fungal. So many of them going down there. Needs to be careful, does Revo, because with these Roaches incoming, he wants the army to hit at once. And if he isolates those Mutalisks and gets them killed before the Roaches even get there, the Infestors could have fun destroying them all day, every day. We've got the Roach War most of the way complete now for Shibbxyz. He's up to 100 supply versus 92. He's going Ling Infestor to fend this off at the moment, and with that excellent win against those Mutalisks early on, he should be able to hold this up, provided he uses the energy on his Infestors in a smart way. He's got +2 Carapace coming down now as well, and +1 attack and Gleam and Constitution also on the way. Excellent Fungal growth coming in. Oh, losing an Infestor very early on in that engagement. Good Fungals on the Roaches, though, and it looks like the Queens are able to do a fair amount of damage, and the Infestors are completely naked. Good tunnel there, trying to get them back out, and I think the army is sufficiently split up that Revo can't really hit into this anymore. The Roaches and the Mutalisks alike have been completely split from each other, and wow, a couple of Infested Terrans and another Fungal means that Revo is effectively losing almost all of his Mutalisks. Does he even have any more left on the field? He doesn't, so he has actually lost all of them now. If we take a quick look at the worker count here, guys, it's 63-41 in favor of Shibbxyz right now. Revo potentially had an opportunity to do some damage with those Roaches and Mutas moving in towards a third base. But then, as you guys saw, he kind of split them up, and the Infestors dealt with the Mutas while the Queens got some pot shots in, and the Roaches just weren't that effective because they had a couple of Fungals against them, and Shibbxyz decided now is going to be the correct time to move out. In the meantime, guys, we have got... Oh god, some Roaches catching these Infestors out. Needs to be careful he doesn't lose too many. Good Fungals coming out from Shibbxyz. We actually have some Beach Balls coming in to try and help with the DPS. Revo potentially has a couple more Roaches. Is it going to matter? He's already got +1 attack, +1 defense is in, and +1 attack finishes for Shibbxyz at a very crucial time. So it's 1-1 versus 1-0 as it currently stands, and Shibbxyz is going to be able to march out across the map here. The Infestors behind, not having that much energy at the moment, but they will be able to get it by the time another major engagement happens, and this third hatchery is looking like its days are very, very limited indeed. 165 supply versus the 75 at the moment, with better upgrades for Shibbxyz as well. These Infestors are being very well protected in the back, and GG comes out from Revo. Shibbxyz wins game number 1. All right, guys, so a pretty entertaining and reasonably long ZVZ there in game number 1. It went